Who are the most hated characters in One Piece? Well, that's exactly what we'll find out in today's video by giving each character a percentage of how much people hate them. For example, everyone's favorite clown, Buggy, is only 10% hated. Why? Because people love him. Well, at first, he was just an annoying, self-absorbed villain who tried to act tough. And when Luffy kicked him in his family jewels, everyone cheered. But as I said, Buggy's now one of the most loved characters in the series. And that's because he's absolutely hilarious. And he actually purely survives on luck. It's become a running joke that somehow, someway, he always makes it out on top, even though he's incredibly weak. And honestly, at this rate, it wouldn't shock me if he somehow got his hands on the One Piece itself. Moving on, we have Bellamy, who used to be super hated, and for good reason. But now he's only 20% hated. Back when we first met him, he mocked and beat Luffy and Zoro, and eventually even Cricket. So when Luffy took him down with one punch, that was truly satisfying. But then during Dressrosa, we saw a whole different side of him. Sure, he was still blindly loyal to Doflamingo, but he showed Luffy respect, so Bellamy had clearly grown. After his emotional fight with Luffy and Doflamingo eventually being defeated, he actually became friends with Luffy and the Straw Hats, and after all that, he retired from piracy and started fresh. So looking back, Bellamy wasn't just an arrogant idiot, he was stuck in a toxic, manipulative relationship with Doflamingo, and his redemption arc showed us he's more than that. Next up, we've actually got Usopp, who's gotten 30% in the hate meter. Because, let's face it, he can be super annoying. He's the guy who hides behind everyone else when danger shows up. And during the Merry situation, he disrespected his own captain, as he was so caught up in his own pain that he totally ignored Luffy's. Plus, his character feels stuck, like we're all waiting for that big power-up that never comes. But even with all that, Usopp's still loved by tons of fans. Sure, he's scared of everything, but that's what makes him brave. He still risks it all for his crew, even when he's terrified. Fighting through fear? Well, that's real courage. Now we've got Sabo's adoptive brother, Stary, who's 45% hated. And honestly, he's one of the most punchable characters in the series. After getting adopted into a noble family, he grew up spoiled and full of himself. And by the time we see him again as the king of Goa Kingdom during the Reverie, he's somehow even worse. He's obsessed with power, scared of literally everything, and treats everyone around him like trash. But here's the thing, most people just don't care about him enough to hate him more, which is why his hate percentage isn't higher. Moving on, we've got the sneaky backstabber Apu, who is 50% hated. Sure, betraying Kid and Hawkins to team up with Kaido was a real shady move, but let's be real, the main reason people hate him is because he's just so annoying. That cocky attitude, constant gloating, and his whole DJ shtick, it's the worst. The random screams and weird noises he makes, beyond irritating. And his musical tone fruit attacks, somehow they make him even more unbearable. Honestly, it feels like Apu was designed to get under everyone's skin, and guess what? It worked. Next up, Doflamingo, who's actually only 55% hated. Now, this guy is ruthless. He killed his own dad, his brother, took over Dressrosa, and ruined countless lives like it was nothing. But, despite all of these horrific things, people still love him. His backstory helps you understand why he's so messed up, even if it doesn't excuse anything he's done. He's a straight-up monster, but he's also a super complex villain that is incredibly well written. The way he actually cares for his crew and family in his own twisted way adds so much depth to his character. Plus, let's be real, Doflamingo's got style, so yeah, he's just too cool to hate, I guess. Another character who's killed innocent people but is actually on the side of the world government is Rob Lucci, and he's 60% hated. This guy's a total scumbag. He straight up told Spondam he works for the world government just so he can kill people without consequences. Like, who even says that? And his backstory? He wiped out 500 innocent people without a second thought. After the time skip, he somehow got even worse, still working for the world nobles and still jumping at any chance to kill. Despite all this, Lucci's fanbase is pretty strong. People like his cool and calm vibe. Still, morally, he's as bad as they come. Moving on, we've got Hody Jones, who's 65% hated. This guy is straight up evil. He doesn't just hate humans, he takes it to a whole other level. He even killed Otohime, just because she was trying to bring peace between humans and fishmen. He also used human slaves as pawns in his fights, which shows just how messed up and heartless he is. But honestly, he's not higher on the hate list because, well, let's be real, most people barely remember him. Fishman Island was an absolute pain, so a lot of fans probably just skimmed through it and moved on. Now, the fake Luffy, Demolo Black, who's actually 68% hated, because this guy's an absolute joke. Black and his crew posed as Luffy and the Straw Hats and tried to recruit people. He then even had the audacity to think he could take on the real Luffy when he finally returned. But yeah, he got knocked out by Luffy's haki pretty quickly. Then he got crushed by Sentomaru when the Marines showed up. His whole act was cringy, but that said, some people did find the fake Straw Hats pretty funny. Now let's talk about Foxy, who's gotten 70% in the hate meter. Why? Because he's just so annoying. And yeah, that's it. Moving up 2% in the hate meter to 72%, we've got Squard. This guy literally stabbed Whitebeard, his own captain, during the Marineford War. Like, what? Whitebeard saved him, treated him like family, and Squard just instantly believed Aka Inu's lies, thinking Whitebeard had betrayed